place to launch, yeah? Yeah, that is surprisingly quick. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's video. I hope you guys enjoy. If you are new, welcome. If you subscribed, thank you so much. Today, we have two of, I would say, the most direct compared cars. That's even grammar, I don't know. We have the all-new RS3 and obviously my, not necessarily new, but the best. If you have an M2 comp or a CS. Now, if you have a CS, that's okay. M2 comp, I'm sorry, the best M2, in my opinion, with the N55. Kind of, I'd say the most direct comparison. I would say when the original M2 came out, that was its competitor. Now that there's the comp, even though this car will still absolutely obliterate a comp with like negative tunes. Obviously around a track, the M2 is more of a track car, and this is more of a sleeper sedan that you put $2,000 into and will whomp a Huracan. Probably a little bit of an exaggeration, but you want to be on camera? Over here, my boy Ryan is the owner of the RS3. They are in pretty much the exact same spec. Black, 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 black. Today I want to find out if that, or I guess if that was a mistake because of that. If I should have bought one of those, or if that is what I should go for. The only thing in my head that tells me the RS3 wouldn't have been a bad idea is because this car is very, very, very similar to my other car. I mean, my GT4 is rear-wheel drive, makes similar power. Obviously, one's NA, one's turboed, and they're both super good on track. Whereas that car is obviously going to be a little less track-oriented, a little more understeer with kind of how Quattro always is on most of the cars, but in a straight line will obliterate both my GT4, I mean, even stock for stock, will obliterate my GT4 and my M2, and then tune for tune will absolutely obliterate both my cars. So it's like, is that the better car? I've actually never driven one, and I've always been a big Audi fan. You guys obviously know I had my R8. Been even more, especially a bigger fan of the newer Audis. Really only driven a couple. I've driven the old S5, I've driven the new S5s, not the brand new S5s. I'm trying to think what else I've driven. I guess I haven't driven too many modern Audis. So this would be like one of the first real modern day. God, these cars look so good together. Whatever, long story short, we're here with Ryan. I'm gonna get behind the wheel a little bit, and I'm gonna let you guys know what is better for everyday use. I don't wanna let you know what's better on a track. I can kind of already tell you, especially with all the reviews I've watched, that's better on the track. Obviously, rear-wheel drive versus the Quattro, zero understeer. I'd pay you money if you can understeer that car. Zero chance. It's gonna kick the back out 10 times out of 10, which is kind of the whole point. I like to say that's like a Hoonmobile. That's what we're gonna call it. But that's literally what it is. From a stoplight, it spins tires. I mean, I'm stage 2, so obviously it spins more tires. You can literally get sideways at any single point in the time, and in the rain, it's pretty much undrivable. Whereas that car almost performs the exact same in the rain because it's always gonna put power down. And it's kind of an interesting car. That car is running an inline 5, which is, I think, the only company that still is making that. I know Volvo used to make an inline 5 and Subaru used to. Supposedly there's no other companies doing it. It literally sounds like a mini V10. Whereas other cars, like if you're running an inline 6, you kind of need a tunnel to make yourself sound like a V12, and it's only going to be a select few cars that can even give you that sound. Where this car literally without a tunnel with an exhaust will sound almost like a baby Huracan or a baby R8. It's running about 400 horsepower, 412 to 20 foot-pounds of torque, I think, whereas my car runs about 385. So already being rear-wheel drive, that car is quicker. Today we're really just gonna find out if for everyday use, is that a more fun car? I'm pointing at the Audi, by the way. Let's find out. In the new RS3. The only thing I don't miss about, for those who didn't know, I used to have a Golf R. The only thing I don't miss, I don't know why Audi and Volkswagen have their paddles so far away. Like in my Beamer, they're almost the size of like, for example, my Golf R, instead of doing paddle extenders, I got full new paddles. Like I actually put new paddles in. And my new paddles just feel like how the M2 paddles are stock. Have you ever driven M2?
Yeah. Actually, no, I driven M3, I never driven
Oh, okay. Same thing, same exact steering wheel, everything. This is Ryan, by the way, guys. Ryan is the owner of the RS3. Transmission's quick. Steering, people say it's light, but it feels really nice. It's not like too light. Like it feels... There are some OEM burbles in this car, but I feel like you can't hear them from inside the car, can you?
No.
The first thing I'm already noticing about this car that we cannot ignore, BMW is always behind on their interiors. For example, my girlfriend's old 750i, 2018 750, which is supposed to be the most luxurious, one of the most luxurious BMWs other than the 760, the M760, or even maybe like an X7, still behind everything. Way behind Mercedes, a decent amount behind Audi. BMW is just behind on interior. So the interior in here already does feel a little better other than kind of the plasticky dash, but my M2 kind of has the same thing anyway. The seats in this are a lot better. Everything quality-wise on this is going to be better than my M2. A little more like Porsche, which is like the best build quality, as you can kind of tell in my GT4. The car feels pretty quick. I haven't really done it, kind of just cruising around. And that's another thing with this car. It's not as quirky as the M2. The M2 is like, it has like some, here, we'll get a little pull here. Yeah, this thing's about as quick. Like, my car right now, if I'm actually putting power down, is about as quick as this, and I'm actually modded. So, how do you get those little like race dials up? Yeah, that's better. Yeah, that's way better. That way you can see all your RPMs. This is sweet, dude. I like this a lot. The crazy thing with these cars, you can literally make so much power in this inline 5. This engine just wants to turn into a Huracan. And as I probably said earlier in the video, these things literally, with the right exhaust, and especially in a tunnel, sound, not even in a tunnel, with the right exhaust, Armitrix or Miltech, catless, decat, non-resonated, these things literally sound like R8s, Huracans. They do. The only difference would kind of be the burbles are a little different, and obviously not as ridiculously loud, but even a stock R8 non-plus is not the loudest car in the world. These things are quick, bro. There are a lot of cops out today, so we are going to drive extremely friendly. These things are so fast. Okay, let's U-turn here so there's no cars, because we are behind a lot of cars. How's the turning radius in this? Oh, it's good because it's all-wheel drive, huh?
It handles really good.
Yeah, these are so fast. It is a little more personality-less than my M2, but again, my M2 is rear-wheel drive. I'm fully opened up. This is a sports exhaust with a resonator delete, which means you're running full cats. I think they actually have secondary cats on this exhaust too. So these things can really be opened up and can be made so fast. So it really just comes down to like, do you want a car that's fast in a straight line or a car that's faster on a track? And for me, the question is, I already have another car that's super faster on a track. We have this thing open. My other car is plenty quick around a track. The M2 is more track oriented than these. These are just sleepers. That's the cool thing. If you want a daily that will walk a proper supercar like a Huracan, an R8, even a 570S, stage 2, doesn't really matter. Full mods, bolt-ons, stock turbos on these will walk those cars here or on the drag strip in a straight line. Obviously on a track, these will get absolutely obliterated, but again, these are not made for the track. It just feels good to be in here. When you're stock in these cars, the launch is so fast, and yet you don't make that much noise. So like, unless a cop's sitting behind you watching you accelerate really quick, which could be considered reckless driving, it's pretty low key. Like, you're going really fast, really low key. When I had my Golf, I used to launch it all the time. My NSX even, I would launch it all the time. That car was brutal to launch. And the crazy thing is, my NSX did 60 in like 2.9 seconds, 2.8 seconds. These things, stage 2, will do 60 as fast as my NSX, which is mind-blowing, and will do the quarter mile quicker. People are running low 10s in these without touching the turbos. Low 10s. My NSX did the quarter in like 11.1 or 11.2. And stock, I think this car does like high 11s in the quarter, which is just absolutely absurd. High downshift again, right? Yeah. Jeez. They're so quick. You definitely need an exhaust, my friend. This is Ryan's first car, so, right?
Yeah.
Your first car, so I don't think you can complain much about anything.
Yeah, I love it.
This is a solid first car. My first car was technically a 2004 Honda Pilot. Mom passed it down to me, had many miles on it. It then got totaled while it was parked. Some idiot hit it, probably texting and driving. I woke up in the morning and my car was destroyed, and he left a note, thankfully though, so we can't complain on that aspect. And then my second car, I used the money from that. Insurance paid me quite well, and I bought an 04 Jetta. And that thing was a beater. A little 1.4 turbo. So I've always been in these things, dude. These are my, you know, the Volkswagen Group is where I started. Yeah, dude, that's impressive. I mean, I've seen a lot of YouTube videos of people in stock ones being a little dramatic. It is still pretty quick, and I'm sure launching it puts you in your seat pretty hard.
Yeah, you should launch it.
Ryan, stop telling me bad things, okay? I'm just kidding. This car will probably rarely ever spin tires unless it's wet outside, and I'm sure it probably still won't then. When did you say? You said if you turn stability control all the way off, it'll spin rear tires?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was a one-time thing, but I turned my ESC off and I was pulling out and my back tire just spin. I fishtailed.
Really? That's so interesting. In the M2 at every single stoplight ever, especially now, I did a TCU tune. If you guys didn't see in one of my recent videos, my traction button turned into like an MDM mode, where it's like almost like a more race-oriented mode for my car that's not fully stability traction off, but not them on by any means. It's kind of like I call it like, it's like a variable drift mode. It's literally at every single stoplight, you step on my gas and the car just flies. Actually, the exact opposite. It just sits there and does a burnout pretty much. You guys can't hear, well, hopefully you can hear the car. I love the little like DSG farts. I'm not sure what the transmission's called in the RS models, but I'm sure it's quite similar to that in the Golf R. The other thing about these cars, they sound a lot louder from the outside. It's kind of hard to get the exhaust noise in the cabin. Even right now, there's artificial exhaust noise, and it's still quite a quiet car. You should just do an exhaust, bro. Like, Miltech exhausts aren't that expensive. Miltech makes this car sound really good if you do a non-resonated. We could do a launch somewhere back here, too. Here's a little turn right here. I want to feel how the Quattro feels. Yeah, dude, this thing rips. That was nothing. My car would have even tried to get a little swirly. That guy had a shirt on that said Team Jennifer. I don't know what Jennifer it is, but he is Team Jennifer. I watched a lot of track comparisons on these cars, and obviously Quattro always understeers on track. On street, you don't really feel it. Like, it's not, this car handles, even on canyons, this car probably handles like my M2, if not, I don't want to say better, but it definitely keeps up. Where the M2 is always trying to step out, this will have its moment where it understeers. Probably not a bad place to launch it.
Yeah.
Should I go to sport?
You're in sport, I think.
I mean, should I, yeah, like that.
Oh, like here?
Yeah.
Okay, wait, put
That is surprisingly quick.
Yeah, put back.
It's so funny to me that you can launch these cars over and over again. The engine's gonna completely handle it. I just did it like on a side road and no one even probably paid attention. This thing reminds me of my Golf a lot. My Golf was louder than this, obviously, because I had an exhaust. And my Golf was to be honest with you, so I was running stage 2 on my Golf, just did downpipes and an APR tune, and that's about it. My Golf was actually quicker than this.
Actually?
Yeah, my Golf was pretty absurdly fast at the end of its journey, where this is still absurdly fast. The thing with these cars, like I said, these will incrementally get so fast, so quick. Like, if you took this to the shop, did stage 2 downpipes and intake, you would be mind blown. You'd literally have a whole new car. Imagine I got a parking ticket. Tell me this has been in front of the camera the whole time. All right, y'all, we're back in my car. This car sounds absurd now. Jesus. I would love to review one of those that's been tuned or has an exhaust or something, just to kind of get a better idea, because that car has so much potential just sitting in it. Whereas my car has already been pushed pretty far, and the more I push it, the more it just stays still because it just spins tires the whole time. So this is the first time we'll be going through tunnels with my valves open, so this should be really loud. And he'll be in front of us, so maybe we can actually hear some of him.
Sounds great.
His car keeps up with mine, and his car is stock. That thing is so fast, so fast. I want to hear it in the tunnels, but I'm probably not going to be able to because of my car. so cool. I don't know why I do, but I do. I want to hear his car. Oh my god, this car is so loud. That car sounded good though, by the way, but this sounded insane. I've always loved Audis. You're gonna get a nicer interior. That car in specific is just an absolute sleeper, and it makes so much more power than this car if you wanted to. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Exhaust just exploded once. I hope you guys heard that. I hope that got picked up on camera. Jesus Christ. All right, number 2. We'll do 2 downshifts. That thing sounds good. To be honest with you, I don't have much to say. Guys, look what Rusnak has. The brand new GT4 color that I forgot the name of, but who cares? So they're asking 124 grand, which is not bad. I mean, yeah, it's pretty steep. Python green is the new color, and this thing has green seatbelts. If you look back there, those are the seatbelts. But this thing is so sick. I actually really like this color. It looks like Viper green. I mean, on camera, it looks so weird. So weird on camera. Come here, come look at this. This is not even, not even close, but in person, it looks like Viper green. And that was the only new color I think they added to the 718s. And honestly, looking at it now, I probably would have ordered this if that's what I ordered. It's a little f you in your face, but it's also a little good. I like it. Wait, it looks better from this way. Yeah, there you go. You guys can kind of see the color, but also I like, still no. Good stuff. I'm back at the house. Video is over. Here are my final thoughts. Should I have bought an RS3? Seb?
No. M2.
You're biased, okay, Seb? Yeah. And you have the M2 too, which is crazy. That makes you biased. I don't know, actually. I don't know what the answer is. I think before I make that decision, I need to get in one that either A has an exhaust or B has an exhaust and has been tuned. The car stock is a little boring. Stock. The problem with the car is there's so much room for craziness. Seb's actually been in Eurocode's like 900 horsepower one. Is that at all boring?
Yeah.
Was there any boringness there?
No. That was insane. If it was between your M2 now
and that,
and like a built RS3,
you do RS3.
100%.
See, that changes things.
Really build that, like your M2, like
I'm saying I can't.
To that level, really.
And then when I do, I'm just gonna sit there in one place, not moving anywhere.
Yeah.
So if you guys are out there and you have a built RS3 or you have one with an exhaust, hit me up. I'd love to drive it. Or we all convince Ryan to build his. Probably not gonna happen. But that's today's video. I hope you guys enjoy. If you did not see, I posted videos from a recent rally that you guys can go check out too. Whoever subscribed, thank you. And I gotta go. Seb, eat winners with your nasty S55 engine. Bye guys.